Joining me now to talk about all this and more is Michael Balboni. He's a former New York State Homeland Security advisor. Welcome back to NewsNation Now. Great to have you with us.
Good to be back here.
So the mayor of Aurora, Colorado, has said that the apartment complexes have fallen to this gang. But other Aurora officials and residents say the unlivable conditions are actually the result of the owner's management and not the gang presence. What do you think is really going on here, Michael?
I think what we have is a transnational gang. It's been operating out of Venezuela. Now, this is a gang that was formed in a prison and has made a migration to countries like Peru and Chile and Colombia, and is now coming up to the United States. Now, I actually have personal experience with a similar situation that happened on Long Island, New York, as a result of the Salvadorian military basically doing a civil war, because from 1980 on, over 1 million Salvadorians left their country, many of them coming to northern cities like New York. So we saw them come to Long Island. And what happened? You had various groups that preyed on their own people. MS-13 was one of them. Salvadorians with Pride was another. So we've seen the outgrowth of these gangs, these violent gangs. But this TDA is a very special threat.
I mean, go ahead, sorry.
No, they've created a transnational drug pipeline.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost impossible to overstate how significant this is really becoming, especially when we're hearing that they are given the green light to attack law enforcement, which is who's keeping all of us safe. But border agents have been trying to identify potential TDA members however they can. Tattoos is one way. We can show our viewers this, such as AK-47s, tattoos, stars, clocks, trains, even the Nike Michael Jordan logo. What other ways can border agents identify gang members before they continue wreaking havoc?
So unfortunately, when you go to the Venezuelan government and you say, help us track these folks that come from your country, they basically say, what are you talking about? So it is very difficult to see whether or not individuals who have come to the United States have committed murder in their other countries and are wanted for that. So that's the first problem. But in terms of gang identification, I actually sponsored a law within New York State legislature to identify gangs. And one of the things that you look for, behavior, you come living together, wearing the tattoos that you're showing now. Also, other types of things, and we're all familiar with gang cuts, as they call them, special clothing that identifies gang members. These types of gangs are not as much for that, but they certainly are for the tattoos. And what they also want to do is, by their actions, they want to intimidate anybody who would work with law enforcement, especially in their own communities, because that's where they prey first, because they know that many of them might not want to go because of their immigration status to the police.
National security is obviously a top priority for both presidential candidates, Trump and Harris. But Trump is calling for mass deportations, while Harris is trying to sort of run away from this border czar title that the Republicans keep giving her, although she was tasked with finding the root causes of migration. But Harris is saying he's just trying to run on a problem instead of fix it. Let's listen to both candidates here.
We're going to have the largest deportation in the history of our country, and we're going to start with Springfield and Aurora.
The United States Congress, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Senate, came up with a border security bill, which I supported. And that bill would have put 1,500 more border agents on the border to help those folks who are working there right now overtime, trying to do their job.
Right. Now, of course, all the illegal immigrants that are coming in are not criminals. But what do you think is the right way to handle these criminal gangs?
Since this issue has emerged, and this is now for years, all the different administrations in Washington have struggled with this, both Republicans and Democrats. And part of the challenge is that you really haven't looked at the border as a national security threat. It's political football. I've been advocating for years now that you got to put money into the border. What does that mean? Well, it's not just about a wall. It's not just about agents. It's also about going to places like Mexico and to Central America and having a carrot and a stick. If you help us stem the tide of these immigrants, we will support you even more in the types of things you need to do. But moreover, the country, the United States, we are the #1 destination for legal migration in the world. And it's a part of our strength. We've never seen it like that. We've never put the money into immigration reform, and into border security.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.